Okay. Hi, Raj.
Hello. Hi, Abhineeta.
ఓకే. సో ఒక మాట చెప్పండి. మీరు దేవరకొండ ఫౌండేషన్‌లో ఏం చేస్తున్నారు?
Well, so Devarakonda Foundation is very volunteer driven. Okay, so there's actually only one employee. చాలా మంది అందరు volunteers గా పనిచేస్తారు. I'm one of those volunteers, but Vijay and family being very close, the task నేను తీసుకున్నది ఏంటంటే to set up the foundation, to put the structure in place, to also put the vision of the family in place, operationalize that vision, and make sure that we are going to deliver some results.
Okay. So your mission is to provide employment for 1 lakh meritorious students, right? How are you going to go
Yes.
about that?
So there's a mix of plans. See, the skilling industry is already crowded with a lot of initiatives. But before we even started with this, we did our own research. It was about 3.5 month project where we went around asking for training institutes what the gaps are, the government what the gaps are, the private companies, CSRs, the non-profits, and education institutes as well. So what we realized is that if we are able to provide simple skilling enablement, finance those talented people who don't know about finishing schools and need such education, and connect them with the best of the training centers and the placement centers, we can make a lot of difference. That is our primary and pilot target to go ahead about this. But during the course of time, we've also realized that there are gaps in, let's say, unemployment registration, right? Unemployment registrations. There are gaps in the existing training. There is different gaps as per the blue collar training, gray collar and white collar trainings. Blue collar training, for example, there is huge numbers that you can do if you enable trainings, but also they are like the low skill training. So what we are focusing here is a spectrum of all these three segments, but our primary purpose is the white collar segment where we see maximum drain of young people from the Telugu states, especially happens to US and Europe. We are hoping that we can retain the talent here, give them the right platforms, and get them the right jobs. So these are few rough strategies that we are going to achieve the number of 100,000 young people.
Yeah. So actually what you just mentioned, right, is part of Abdul Kalam's vision of a developed India by 2020, right? That was one of the things I just remembered. So would you please share with us what is it that you've accomplished so far and what kind of support you need to meet that 100,000 people?
Sure. So we started last year around this time with the research and progress. What we understood was there is a lot of demand. Even without the foundation's name, we actually went around all districts of the Telugu states and gotten around 500 highly smart, talented young graduates to apply for a program where they want to learn new skills, finishing skills to job, to get a right job, which is their first job. So our pilot has been focusing on getting the most talented, yet coming from economically and socially backward communities to have an equal right and an equal opportunity on the table to their urban counterparts from high middle income groups to get their first dream job. And in that, after a lot of selection process involving counselors, psychometric tests, aptitude tests, and skill assessments, we have selected about 50 fellows, 47 to be precise. And these students have taken range of different courses, right? From architecture to interior designing to photography to civils to IT, core mechanics, all these kind of different streams that they come in and they're interested in. We map them to the best of the training institutes. So all of them started undergoing training just at the beginning of this year. Unfortunately, most of this training was supposed to end in May, and that's when the pandemic really derailed a lot of our plans because all these training institutes couldn't finish their trainings, and they've converted into an online training, which took a while. And they're just as we're speaking finishing these trainings. About 30 of them have finished the trainings, and already out of those 30, about 20 of them have been placed already. The last bunch of students are finishing the trainings in few weeks, and we're hoping that everyone gets placed very soon. So that's been the work so far.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing that. And so, like in conclusion, what is it that you would like to say to all the students who are about to graduate, maybe, especially now that it's a pandemic and everything's getting delayed, right? What is it that you want to tell them?
I think you need to really hang on. This is a time where you need to really work on these. Again, a lot of people are saying it, but upskilling and reskilling is very important. The market is going to be tougher. It will be more competitive. If you have the time, you have basic technology, even if you have a mobile phone with an internet that's good enough to access a lot of resources, get trained on either deepening your knowledge or widening your knowledge on different skill sets, and look at the market low. What are the skills that are now being used, right? We have more remote businesses, we have more online businesses. Understand the skill sets that they need and the match with the skill sets that you have. So focus on that, get yourself trained. There are even free courses to do that online. So I would say, do not relax, this is not a time to be laid back and worry about, okay, pandemic is happening, so I can't do it. This is the time to be more competitive. Use the time to be more, to get your skills right in the place. And I think, lastly, in fact, even before the question before you asked, there is a lot of collaboration already happening. We are inviting a lot of corporates to join. There is a lot of digital education and skilling thrust. There's a lot of government support coming in. So the students should be really looking forward to catching this as well. And Devarakonda Foundation is one such agency which is trying to bring all of this together and streamline it for students. So definitely they should also look out for resources that we put out on our social media as well.
Really, thank you so much for your time. Truly, I know you were in between things as well. And your dream is so big that it fulfills on the dreams of 1 lakh families, potentially, right? So, yeah.
That's the goal.
Thank you for being that person.
Thank you so much, Abhineeta.
Thank you for speaking with us.
The
Only Positive News team wishes you all the best, right?
Thank you. Look forward to a lot from you guys. Take care. Bye.